Many thanks to DayZ Podcast, Pandemonium, Fettless Faction Village Servers, Atlas, MGA Vanilla Mouse, One Original DayZ Servers, Dust Vanilla Servers, Sheriff Line, Apocalypse Now Server, Sauerkraut, Sgt. Pepper's DayZ Invasion Server, and PGC Servers for making this video possible. DayZ Update 1.23 has just been released to experimental for us to check out, so like usual I'm going to give it a quick look to show you all the new stuff and what has changed this patch. As a lot of you professionally predicted, the M14, or what's called the DMR in the game, was the new weapon that we heard during the dev livestream, which is easily the most powerful weapon that we've seen in a very long time. The M14 DMR, or Designated Marksman Rifle, is a semi-auto rifle that fires the 308 rounds, the same as a Winchester, from a 10 or 20 round magazine, allowing NATO attachments and quite possibly being a contender for the best weapon that we've ever seen in Vanilla DayZ, which I'll go into more detail on in another video. Northwest Airfield has been redesigned with simplicity in mind, changing nearly all aspects of all areas while keeping its layout roughly the same. From my time roaming around here, it feels a lot more open, with buildings and areas around flowing much better into the central focus, which is the airstrip. Some areas to note are the checkpoint to the north, which has been replaced with a tizzy building without an underground bunker, so there's no underground bunker here. They shrink down the military barracks area to the south here. They removed the construction area and replaced the construction area to be further to the north. And to the north on the hill, they've redesigned the camo building. The camo building to the centre of the airfield has been removed. This redesigned camo building has a fortified look, so you can get on the roof from the rear, and the front has fortifications as well. As you enter the building, you will also notice a new staircase leading down into a bunker. Down these stairs is a bunker that's very similar to the Tizzy bunker that we have at Tizzy, so it's not anything like some sort of underground tunnel network. It's simply a few rooms below this redesigned camo building, with one of those rooms being a prison cell, so this could be part of the lore somehow. There is no underground Northwest Airfield tunnel network. I did check under the map under every single building in Northwest Airfield, so the only underground area added to the Chernarus map is this one here. The most obvious change this patch comes in the form of the immensely impressive Skybox, or simply Sky, featuring what appears to be volumetric clouds. I'll check this out in the future. The weather system is still intact, and so are the night and the day cycles, but knowing exactly how this has changed will take some time. For now, the devs have said that the sun and the moon do have some issues. What those issues are was not specified. Moonlight will now create harsh shadows from what appears to be moon cycles and lights up the environment much better than in previous patches, giving everything this soft nightly glow to it. It looks so much better at nighttime. Cloud coverage impacts how dark it is or how bright the server is too, so the cloudier it gets, as you can see here, the darker it gets too. You can now push all of the vehicles in DayZ from the front or the back, moving the vehicle in the direction that you push it, consuming stamina, and the distance you can push it seems to be based on the weight of the vehicle. This can even be done with the V3S with or without fuel, so you can do this without spark plugs, without batteries. You can push a vehicle without any components at all. I'm not sure about tyres, I will check this out in the future. So you can push a vehicle to a gas station if you run out of fuel, for example. Vehicles are now much more powerful off-road, with the V3S and the Humvee now finally being strong enough to make it up steep inclines. Even slight inclines in the last patch the V3S struggled with. Now it seems to get up them with ease as long as you drop down into a gear that's suitable for that hill. Also, the rate at which you're punished for going off-road looks to be significantly reduced, with this applying to all of the vehicles. The V3S and Humvee, or heavier vehicles in general, will now have inertia tied to them, reducing their responsiveness on the steering. I'm not sure about acceleration, but definitely on the steering the V3S was much slower. Castle interiors now have wood inside them instead of stone, which would make you believe that it's more difficult to defend because you can just shoot through the wood, but this wood is super strong, so you have to shoot through the gaps instead. This is still going to be quite difficult to attack. The one-handed field shovel is back, and this has been requested by a lot of people. From my testing, it does everything that a two-handed shovel does. It's just smaller, weighs less, and probably has less durability too. Padded gloves have been added, probably having increased durability compared to other gloves that spawn in the same loot areas. We also got 3 new hats this patch as well, in several different colour variants: the Winter Coif, the OKZK hat, and the Potoshok hat, or the hat that makes you look like you just fell headfirst into a sack of potatoes. The ASVAL and VSS are confirmed to be moved to high-tier military areas instead of contaminated zones. I found one at a heli-crash site during testing, and also the SVD, FAL and AUG variants have been moved to spawn in contaminated zones only instead of high-tier military areas, so the SVD, FAL and AUGs are going to be much harder to find. What is meant by high tier military is not confirmed yet. This could be a new tier, or it could just be tier 4, or it could be Tizzy and Northwest Airfield only. We just don't know yet. We're going to do some more testing though. Explosive sounds have been adjusted with the gas canister explosion sound changing. It's also mentioned that the distances that explosives can be heard has changed too, but this could just be bug fixing. As for some other changes I believe everybody should know, the server browser displays how many players are in the queue to the server that you're going to join, so this plus number is going to be how many people are in the queue. We got new sounds for crafting and deploying fireplaces, deploying and arming explosives, placing the claymore mine, crafting or creating rags, washing hands in water sources, opening these doors, equipping and unequipping the pipe wrench, crafting and gathering planks, and finally crafting a hand drill. You can also now hide or show the password when entering servers, which is a great feature for some streamers out there. Items placed inside containers currently storing liquids will now get wet, so placing clothes in a barrel, for example, will now make it damp. The V3S firefighter truck is simply a wreck. There is no new truck in this update. The stone oven will no longer extinguish when it starts to rain. The double shot for the blaze and the double barrel shotgun has been fixed now. Server owners will be able to stop players from respawning when they go unconscious in the server setting, which means that some servers won't allow you to respawn until your health reaches 0 or your blood reaches 2500. It looks like the supply crates or supply drops are slightly dynamic. As you can see here, there's loads of these supply crates here, but on stream we only saw a few of them, and there's a lot of loot here too. And finally for this video, you can no longer build bases inside the Livonian bunker. At first glance it appears that when you're inside the bunker, the hologram to place a gate or a fence doesn't want to appear at all. When near the door it shows the hologram, but you cannot place it, as you can see here, with the closest I could place a fence kit being here. So I think we can certainly say that it's the end of players building inside of the bunker. Those are the details I believe everybody should know as a first look at 1.23, which we're going to a lot more detail in future videos like usual. For now you can get slightly more details on my previous video for this patch here, and the devs have stressed in this update that if you do find bugs this patch, do report them using the link below. It helps them out a lot. Or if you want, you can post some feedback down below in the comments to give them feedback on this patch. The devs have been known for watching my videos, and they do read some of the comments I guess sometimes. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.